Welcome to the X and One Legion cast. It is me, Randy, your host, with Mitchem as always. Matt cannot join us this time, but we have a great guest host this time around. Zane, you might know him as Hot and Frosty on the Legion Discord, and also event organizer for the Legion tournament at Lone Star Open this year. Welcome, Zane.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about GTs a little bit, specifically Lone Star Open, and maybe we'll talk about Bad Batch a little bit. But before we get too into things, Mitchem, how's your painting going?
Well, I've been pretty busy recently. I'm up to 42 of my 52 models this year, trying to paint one a week. I've kind of taken a little break as of late. I have a lot of half painted projects on my desk right now because I've just been kind of like a dog and a squirrel right now, just wanting to start and finish everything. So I got a OP Luke on my desk. I got some Rebel Commandos I need to finish. I got 2 clone vehicles I need to finish, and then just a handful of just like extra clones that I'm trying to add to all my different squads, so I don't have to take 5s and the leader, to confuse people. So yeah, just a handful of stuff here and there, and just building stuff when I can, and yeah, I'm thinking about painting up my Rebel astromech for Ahsoka R2 lists I'm thinking about running. So I'm just trying to get the creative juices flowing here, and I'm kind of falling out of clones recently and trying to get back into my groove of Rebels and playing my girl Ahsoka. So yep, that's where I'm at. 42 out of 52, and I got more than 6 months left in the year, so safe to say
you're doing way better than me. I mean, I'm at 19 of 60.
Oh,
so I will have to catch up. Working on that Bespin table really set me back, but
hey, all that counts.
Yeah, I got some swoops done. They're looking pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was happy with them. We had a good game at tournament recently with them.
I was gonna say they did look very good on the table that running into me, but at least the paint job was nice.
Yep. And then they died to some ATSTs next round, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so working on them, and then I've got some. Oh, I painted a Gar Saxon for Shatterpoint, but.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Yeah. And got some Black Suns still staring at me. I need to finish those up. But Zane, I think you're our first guest hobby harassment.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So what you been hobbying on?
So legitimately today I put together my my bro sis combos. I've had them sit on the sprue for a while, so they are now together, but I've been working on this tray of Black Sun Shame for a little while now. I went with a good scheme. I went like this like purple green, and like thought it was gonna work out really well, and then like the purple's like almost black, and so I was like, well, that's cool, I guess. Like not really what I wanted, and then like the green came out more like turquoise emerald, and I was like, okay, not liking this color scheme, so I just like picked them all up and chucked them in this baking pan, and they've been in there ever since. So, yeah,
plenty of projects of mine. I've done the same. I'll just put them back on the shelf, and I'll strip them eventually.
yeah, and then I've got like a whole nother like pack of just like Shadow Collective to put together. So,
man after my own heart.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play Black Suns for a hot minute, and it's just finding the time to put them together and paint them, man.
Yeah.
Curses.
Need that 25th hour in the day,
Yeah, that's exactly it. If I had one more hour.
Yep.
If you had one more hour, you could think about painting for another hour.
I could set some more stuff out to look at and maybe start painting.
Yeah.
With your traveling for work and stuff, that's got to be tough, because like if I don't just leave my stuff out on my desk, I'm never gonna like go and touch it.
that's part of the struggle for me is like since I travel is like everything has to go in its box, so like everything has to fit, and it's like actually here I have this readily available. This is like all of my hobby stuff. Like this is like terrain, like terrain pieces, extra glue, some like like the dirt and grass and stuff like that.
Yeah,
a lot of basing materials and whatnot, and then like a couple models that aren't put together. So it's just that like Ziploc container, plastic containers, like, and then I've got like two things of paint, two like cases of paint, and then like two cases where models are actually. I have one case that is models assembled and primed or in gray that they can kind of get beat up in foam. I don't care about it. And then I have my magnetic tray that is painted models, so that way like everything stays nice. Like I have this baking tray that's got all of my clones that I've painted nicely magnetized so nobody gets scratched. So but yeah. Travel hobbying is a real struggle.
Hey, that carrying case seemed better than some people's army transports I've seen. So I think you're doing good. Yeah. Have you played any games recently, or been bouncing around too much?
Man, yeah, I just got back from the Philippines, like not even 2 weeks ago. I was gone for 2 weeks there, and then just a little bit of moving here and there. So I haven't played a game in a hot minute. Hobbying, like what I got done today, like that. And really, it was like knowing I was going to be on the cast today. So I was like, man, I'm feeling a little Star Wars Legion urge here. What do I got to work on? And I started getting stuff out. So yeah, you guys were the inspiration to start getting back into some stuff. So
hey, whatever we can do to motivate people, that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
there it is. Well, Mitchum and I, we just played at a tournament this past Saturday at Gilded Grayling in Shawnee, and they actually streamed a few of the games there. Nice. We'll probably link that in the YouTube comments or the description.
Yeah.
But Jerry's Game Shop, he streamed that. We won't get into all the games because we got a lot to discuss, but me and Mitchum unfortunately got paired up round one. It always stinks.
Come on.
Team killing round one.
The dang auto pairing, man, let me tell you.
I feel like there's.
I think I've lost more games against that than I have actual opponents.
Oh man. But yeah, I was rocking Maul, some pikes and bikes. And Mitchum had dual commandos.
I brought Anakin, dual commandos, double arc strike teams, and just some filler clones. I brought RPS, brought a P2 with a mortar, and I brought I don't know, another clone. I can't remember, something else. It's right. It's one of those cloned heavy weapons. I just can't remember for the life of me.
Some dude with white armor.
Yeah, some guy with white armor. I don't know.
Big guns.
Yeah. We ended up playing. What did we play? We played Hostage.
Yeah, Hostage. That was like my fourth game of Hostage. I apparently don't play that much Hostage.
That's all I played on Saturday was all Hostage, and because no one would let me play Recover with my clones or with my commandos, and I was kind of sad.
Oh, come on.
I was waiting for Lim Viz Recover, man, but it just didn't happen. So let's see. We it was pretty close until it wasn't.
I mean, you put those commandos in the side, and it worked out that I just put Maul over there, and he killed them round one.
Yeah.
But he was far away from the rest of my army, which I think kind of
balanced it out a little bit.
Balanced it out because I had to spend a turn or two getting him back over there.
Mm-hmm. I blocked out most of that game.
The swoop bikes won the game.
Yeah, that's all I remember is Anakin. Let's see, I had there was six overrun dice on Anakin, and he missed five
saves.
He blocked five or blanked five to kill him, and I don't remember anything after that. So yeah, it was. It was
everything
not
else
great.
Just a washing machine. Like I don't know.
It was just like we're just going through the motions at that point, and I was like, I mean, I can't be mad at Randy because he's Randy, but I was mad at Dice. I was so mad at Dice that game. So
those bikes are surprisingly effective in melees. Like you would think a red and 2 whites, yeah.
Come to find out, you can use the Keratin armor against overruns, which I didn't know until today. So, which makes sense.
I didn't overrun commandos though, but
Yeah,
that
you
is
did
good to know. Yeah,
It doesn't matter when Maul kills them. So,
no, that's true.
yeah, I need to
What
talk
did
to my
I
buddy
do?
Rob from Vegas and get some loaded dice. So
There you go.
that's what I. The strategy was sound. It's just the dice weren't cooperating with me. So
Yeah, that's the worst part of this game, really. Stinking dice.
Well, red dice saves it's always the thing, It's like you rely so much on them, and when they don't show up, you're just like, what did I do to you? What did I do to hurt you?
They always seem to show up against my opponent though, and it's like,
oh yeah,
okay, okay.
I'm a white save army guy, and so when I roll red dice, they just think they're white dice.
Okay, you play pikes, so you roll that back. You get to re-roll all your saves.
I play pikes, so I don't have to roll dice. Because if you roll dice, you've already lost.
Because we've got the cover table, we got a dodge, we got
yeah. Zane knows.
Yeah, gotta get your force barrier out there. It's all good.
Yeah.
Man. Okay,
right.
cool. But yeah, we'll link the stream for that so you can check.
Yeah, really nice setup. It was awesome. 3 fantastic games on stream. Randy ended up being on stream second round against a new guy that was in town from Vegas, Rob, and they played a great game. He brought a triple ATST Tempest Force, and Randy,
really nice guy despite playing Tempest Force.
Yeah, we don't really have a huge vehicle meta in Oklahoma. So he kind of came in and was like, hey, here's my 3 ATSTs. What are you going to do about it? And we're all like, I don't know. But
we hate Impact.
Yeah. He was a great guy. I can't wait to host him again. And hopefully we'll see him around soon. So, but on to the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Do we want to mention Bad Batch real quick before we get into GTs?
I mean, I could just steal the whole podcast right now and talk about Bad Batch. Are you sure you want to do that, Randy? I know deep down you're a clone player. I know you are.
Hey, they're coming out for Rebels too.
Darn right.
I actually think I'm going to prefer the Omega version, which I know is crazy to say, but just
Omega,
Rekka, Hunter, Crosshair.
Crosshair. Oh man, I want that T-shirt so bad. I want that with her pronunciation. I want it so bad.
Just all their names.
Or just get a unit card that just has everything like with the R's chopped off of it and a little apostrophe. Like,
oh my gosh,
AMG, come on, where's the marketing right here?
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say other than they look pretty cracked, man.
Man,
what is it? 150 in Rebels, 160.
116 clones, 150. Well, 140 in Rebels, but 10 with Omega.
Yeah,
which I don't know why.
I mean, if you're taking them, you're taking Omega. Yeah,
and I mean, I don't know if there's a keyword in the game they don't have. And then that 3-pip command card is just
equip Hunter, Echo, Wrecker Tech, Crosshair. They have Impervious, Scale, Steady, Sharpshooter 1, and we're not regs. I have my my Adepticon card that they gave us. So
that's a good looking card right there.
Yeah,
flexing on us up here. Dang.
Yeah, and then what is it? Tech or Echo gives them tactical, and they've got Steady already. So you're gonna get 2 aims.
Tech gives tactical. Echo gives reliable 3. Wrecker has the range 1 to 2 gun. That's a rainbow. Hunter does the free wound. Crosshair gives precise and high velocity. And then Omega does
critical 1 if he's critical just 1 by himself. Yeah.
Yep. And then Omega does all the objective shenanigans, which I think is going to be super good.
I'm hoping that Omega is more of a companion to that car, like to that squad, rather than like Grogu was to Din, everybody's like, oh cool, Grogu, and then it's like, Grogu's just a liability. Like, I hope Omega doesn't turn into that for Bad Batch, where it's like, you'd be cool, but I don't want you to be a liability,
Yeah, I think the big thing is that she can do 2 things when you use the action to do so, right?
Yeah.
If you shoot, she can have the dice. She can claim stuff. Grogu, it's like roll a die and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can give away a victory point. So
I mean, super
that's
thematic
rough.
on Grogu, but like, yeah, just rules as written is just not a good take. So
Yeah.
If you could get a victory point for keeping him through the game, that would have been.
See, and that actually, I think that balances him out more to taking, because I think a lot of it is like it's a risk for me, but it's a high reward for my opponent. So I'm not gonna like put myself that far out there to potentially lose a game because I lost him. You know, where my opponent's like, oh, cool, I can just gun for you and like tie on Sab Vaps, and like as long as I take you out, then I'm good. You know?
Yeah, especially when there's so many missions that already like to tie on victory points already.
Yeah.
You know, just giving away almost a free one is just not, no one's ever going to do that.
Yeah. I think if it was that, like, you know, once he's gone, whoever claims the token, you know, then gets a victory point. Then both sides are like fighting for that.
Yeah, a 2-way bounty would be really neat. Even if you have to like take it into the deployment, like secret mission or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just some kind of benefit, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, they come out July 19th. So.
And it's really funny is like for Lone Star, we had the same thing last year for Ewoks, right? I think Ewoks landed.
Yes. Yep.
It was like what, the day before, Thursday before, I think.
Man, it was. I know people were scrambling that night to get them painted.
Yeah, it was. I know it was the week. Like it was hard crunch to get them done, and I remember being like, you know what? Why not? You know, why not? And so I just
they're out.
Yeah, so I just set the date for Lone Star, like the hard cutoff was like, I'll just put the 19th, and I just like threw it in there, and then Angie was like, here's when they're gonna release, and I was like, is this you, God? Are you speaking to me? Like, so yeah. So Bad Batch will be legal for Lone Star Open.
Heard it here first, people. All right, it's happening. I said it on stream. I'm gonna have it painted and ready to go for LSO.
Yep. So, I've had quite a few people message me being like, "Can I bring them? Are they gonna be legal?" And I'm like, "They will be legal. 3-color format, standard models." So,
I feel like we'll see a lot of Zenithal Shadow.
Bad
Batch there.
Yeah, here's my black, white, gray. See, they're 3 colors.
That's 3 colors. Yep.
Come on, guys. At least paint the red stripes.
Yeah, come on.
There you go.
It's 5 bottles. 6 bottles, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool. Speaking of Lone Star, that is going to be a grand tournament, and AMG just recently announced the events that would be grand tournaments this year.
Yep.
They had over 400 events sign up for it.
Yeah.
There was not 400 events that got it.
No.
But it definitely seemed like bigger events that could handle having all 5 games were the ones that got priority, which makes sense.
Yeah. I think the majority of them have like most of the games represented. Like there's a few where it's only 1 or 2 that are there. But for the most part, you're looking at like 3+ games being represented at every GT. So
yeah.
I don't think there's any surprise. I think usually all the big events that we're used to hearing, like the, LSOs and then the Adepticons and then what's the one on the East Coast? Gen Con, Nova.
Yeah.
All the big ones. I think we ended up making GTs, and then there's that lone one in Alaska, right? Or is that something else?
Is there really? That's fantastic. Nashville.
There's a lone one in Alaska, and then there's Anchorage, like 2, 3, and
Anchorage, Alaska, in October 4th. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like above Texas, there's like a big gap of nothing in America with no GTs. But Alaska, they got it locked down, baby.
Yeah, we're on it. That's the one state I haven't been to yet, and I'm gonna be like, October, huh?
Hey, why not go play some Legion in Alaska?
Yeah,
I guess they've got a scene there. Like, if
that's
they got
awesome.
a GT, that would be wild.
That's awesome.
I've never been. That'd be a good drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so it's interesting.
X and 1 does Alaska. Let's do it.
It was really interesting though, when we were like waiting for like confirmation, for this, because Jordan with Luminous Gaming, he's kind of been our main go-to with like talking with AMG and like getting all these different frontline gaming events like qualified and stuff, doing what he can for it. And when it came out, he's like, okay, it has to be called, Star Wars Legion event sponsored by AMG. And I was like, yeah, cool, no problem. But like in my head, I wanted it to be like Star Wars Legion, LSO, GT, LVO, LVOI, GT, like all these like because like there's so many
invitational qualifier salutes the troops.
and it's exactly because it is FLG's military appreciation, and so like just like have this really long name that just keeps going, and everybody's like, what the heck? Like,
man, I'd love to see you put that on a shirt. Let's go.
That would be a sick banner. That would be a sick banner.
That would be a banner. Yeah,
it's like it goes to a point, and then there's like pieces that I've printed off with like landscape
like
paper, and I've like taped it onto the end of it. Like,
yeah, if you can find one of those old dot matrix printers with like the perforated edges, that'd be perfect.
That would be awesome.
That's how we can punish people who don't print their lists ahead of time. They have to sit there and wait for that thing to slowly print out,
and it prints 1 unit per page, so you have to like.
Oh man!
All right. If I can find one, I'll bring it. But yeah. So they announced that. They announced prize support for the tournaments. It seemed like a lot of the goodies were at Worlds, and they are distributing that out, which is good for me and Mitchem since we did not get to go to Worlds this year. I want to be a little dice goblin and get as many of those premium defense dice as I can.
Hey, I've seen those things roll. They roll hot.
Dude, on stream. So I did stream for Worlds this year, and on stream when people started getting those dice and showing up and rolling them,
nice dice.
Yeah, I love that. That's like caught on in the community, because that was like something. When was that? That was LVO. Not this year, year prior, like because I was helping David do stream for the Worlds 22.
Yeah.
So because it wasn't 24, 23.
23.
23, yeah.
23,
So like to kind of get preparation for that, I was like helping David do these events, and like I jumped on it LVO, and that was just something like I just said, and then like the chat started rolling and was like, oh yeah, let's do, there's like nice dice, and then it was like came back for LVO this last year, and it was like nice dice, and then like now it's just a thing that like I'm like, yes, I love this.
Watching the stream at World, that's all. Like every once in a while, I'd just have it on, and I'd hear that. I'm like, oh, something's going on.
It's a good like verbal cue for like whenever you're doing something else, be like, oh, something just happened. Like what just happened? So like, yeah,
we have guys yell it all the time during tournaments and stuff in Oklahoma. Just when they roll something, they're like dice, and we're like dice, let's go.
Yeah. It doesn't have quite the same allure with like the Oklahoma twang versus
it really
the
doesn't.
English accent, but it still does the trick.
But yeah, we've got some of those dice coming our way for our prizes. We've actually got pretty solid prizes going on this year. There's an article they dropped that kind of showed everything that was going there. I'll kind of run through what we got. So like first place will get a Grand Tournament Champion trophy. Top two will get a bumper mat, which I have one of those. If it's the same ones from Adepticon, they're pretty sick. The artwork on them is
it's the Riot Squad and the like
and the sleeper cell units. That one's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is 3x3, but like I feel like it's nice to just like you put it in the center section of your side of the board, and it's just like a nice place to just kind of put your stuff on,
For sure.
And so so those will be given out to top two. Top four will get acrylic round counters, and then participation prizes. There's a bunch of them. A couple foils, a lying in wait, tactical strike, Sith will rule, reckless diversion, hello there, ploy. Those will all be foils, and then two of promo white defense dice, red attack dice, and black attack dice. And the way we'll do that will be like for every round you play, we'll give out some of that stuff. That we encourage people to keep playing and not dropping stuff. And we'll be doing the 6 rounds of Swiss this go around as well. So we'll be doing that, and then there's going to be a Play It Painted, which is cool. I love that they're giving us hobby stuff as well. And essentially what that entails is everyone, like, because usually when you do a painting competition, people are like, oh, I don't want to enter my stuff. I'm not in that category of those high level painters. This is really cool. This is basically just up to my discretion essentially, but there's kind of some basic rules. Essentially it's anybody who brings a fully painted army that it doesn't have like gray showing, or has like their bases are painted and stuff like that and modded, like as long as you bring a fully painted army, you'll be entered into this Play It Painted. And then basically it's just a random drawing, and we just pull a name out of a hat and go, cool, here you go, you get this awesome art print. So I think that's a cool way to like let people know, like, hey, painting your stuff is still cool, like we still appreciate that you're putting the effort in to do that. So
that's a cool way to kind of give away door prizes and stuff like that. I like a different take on it and everything, instead of like getting a random ticket, you actually kind of have to do something. So I like that. That's really cool.
Yeah. So
still gonna have a normal painting competition as well.
Yeah. So all of that stuff is everything I just said was all AMG's stuff that they've given us, which is super awesome. We are super thankful for them for that. I have a couple people that like I just have connections with around the community, and one of them that like I love this couple to death, Greg and Meredith from Turbo Dork Games, which is based down in Austin.
Yeah.
I have just gotten to know them over several cons, and I painted. Really, what the kicker was is I painted my den with their 6-shooter silver Turbo Dork paint, which is like super metallic chromey.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they have great metallics.
Metallics. And I took it to him at PAX Unplugged because I was playing there, was like 2 years ago, and I took it to him. I was like, dude, this is awesome. This is what I painted, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And I was like, if you want to hold on to him for the weekend and like show off that paint, like by all means, go for it. And he did. He put them in their display case, and several people like offered to buy it and stuff. He's like, dude, I'm selling 6-shooter, like crazy. And so just got to know Greg and Meredith from that and through several other events. And they're actually going to be coming up, and they will be doing a formal like painting competition judging with them picking people. So like I love when you get the painting or hobbying community people involved, because like you get a different perspective than like what we see as like people who play that game. So they're going to be doing a formal competition painting, and we're going to have I believe we have single mini, unit, or it's unit vehicle, and then full army. So yeah. And then Turbo Dork is going to do paint pricing for that. I think we're doing like we did last year, like top 3 of each of those categories will get Turbo Dork paint prizes, which is
that's awesome.
Stupid cool. I love those guys.
Yeah.
So
yeah, our buddy has done quite well at LSO painted competitions in the past. So
yeah, he's excited.
He'll be glad to know that that is continuing this year.
Yeah.
Well, so this is your second year running the event for Legion at LSO.
Yeah.
And we met briefly last year. You were handing me some raffle tickets. But yeah, tell us how you got involved with the event, and what drives you to continue on.
Yeah. So I'm not a very good player. Like my record when I go to an event is usually like 1-2, 0-3. Like
X and 1. X and
1s always. That's where
yeah.
So like I am always on the submarine. Like we're all aboard the Titan with me, and I'm driving us there. Like, and so I kind of just started like putting more of my time into just like helping the organizers of events, just with like cleanup and maintenance and stuff like that, and like really enjoyed that part of it and helping everybody out. And it was at LVO year before last, was talking with Patrick Jeroboam on the Discord, and I was like, "Hey man, if you need help with stuff, let me know. I'm more than happy to step in and like judge or set up, like whatever you need. Just let me know. I'll be there." He's like, "All right, cool." And then what was it, like 3 months before the event? Yeah, because LVO was in January, and I think it was March that he messaged me, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to take on a bigger role?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like,
Why?
Yeah, I was like, curious of you to ask. But he was like, yeah, I have a family reunion thing and I can't get out. Like, I can't go to LSO, so I need someone to step in. And I was just like, I remember like sitting there, like looking at my phone and just being like, do I want to? And I was
What
like,
does it mean?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. Let's give it a go and see what happens. So just like all gas, no brakes. Like, let's get this on the floor. And Kicker with FLG was super helpful. Patrick was super helpful, just like behind the scenes, getting things done for me and stuff. And yeah, put it all together. And that raffle that I did last year I did this kind of raffle ticket system where if you won a game, you got a blue ticket. If you lost a game, you got a red ticket. And then we went into a raffle drawing, which actually I think I'm going to do that again this year, just as like fun, because that's just a fun thing to do. That like,
yeah,
I think it keeps everybody just kind of like, oh, cool, I'll get something random, like why not? So I might change it up a little bit, but I think that's something I'll still do. So I came up with that last year, and so just trying to keep people like involved in the games, because it's like 2 days, playing Legion on a concrete floor. Like everybody gets fatigued towards the end of it. It's just like trying to keep it fun throughout the whole thing. Yeah, when it was over with, it's one of those I was like, whoo, like, all right, we made it through, and then it started coming around this year, and I was like, I fully was like, hey, Patrick, like, this is yours, if you want to take it over again, like, be my guest. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, you did a great job last year. He's like, why don't you just run it again? And I was like, okay, all right, let's do it again. Run it back,
Run it back. Passed.
Yep. So I was like, okay. So Patrick is going to be there. I'm going to have Patrick is going to be one of our judges. Ethan Judd from last year, he will also be one of our judges, and then myself. And then if we need Jordan from Luminous Gaming, he will also be there to help judge as well. So we would have 4 counselors. Yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, I've fully love the EO side of things. It's one of those things where it's like when I see everybody else like having fun and enjoying the event, then I'm like, cool, like that makes me happy. Like I love hyping everybody else up and like letting them have a good time, like that lets me have a good time, because most of the work for us is like in the preparation and the setting up and everything. Like once you hit that go, like boom, it's like cool, everything is just on autopilot right now. So
man, communities need more of you, man. Let me tell you, because that's how you build a good community right there. You get a guy like you, and everything else just kind of does itself. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
I mean, most communities have all players. Rarely do they find a EO. And that's huge for anyone. So yeah, I mean, we appreciate it, and I know everyone, all the 60 plus players that are going to be there, appreciate you as well. So.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate hearing that. It's one of those things, like I said, you put all that work in and you see it all come together and you're like, man, as long as everybody had a good time, that's all I care about. So,
yeah. And it's July 20th, 21st?
Yes, July 20th,
Saturday
21st.
And Sunday?
Yep.
Still a few tickets available?
Yeah, last I checked, there are 4 tickets left on the Frontline site out of the 64 that we're kind of having as our soft cap. Now, if more people want to come, like I encourage you guys to like, hit the like buy a ticket thing, because I believe that sends a request to Frontline for them to be like, hey, we've got, 10 more players wanting to come in and play. And I'm talking with Kicker, and he'll, I'm working with him. If we get more people wanting to come in and we've already sold out tickets, then I think he'll open up and we'll try and get, 10, 12 more in at a time, kind of where we're at. So I definitely encourage you guys, like if you're kind of on the cusp, like, I'm not sure, like, get in there, because there's 4 left now, and we want to try and bump that up if we can. So
nice. And yeah, this will be a full LVO Invitational qualifier, as well as points. Yeah. And since it's going to be so many people, it'll be the increased amount of points for first place.
Correct.
And all the way through, I think top 16 will get points. Correct.
Yep. Yep, and we're using long shakes, which is the first time I've used that.
Okay.
But it looks like a really easy system to go through. But that's
Mhm.
what the LVOI
Yeah.
is like
Yep,
tracking
yep.
through is long shanks. And so that'll help them as well to like keep your records going through and all your points and stuff like that. So
For sure.
Yeah.
We've started to use it here in local events, and it gets the job done. And there's a lot more stat tools, I guess, for all the stat nerds out there. And I'm one of them, so I love it. But it seems good.
Yeah, we're also going to be utilizing time has been one of those things that people have been kind of questioning, like Worlds kind of had its hard run of that. We are going to be using kind of how X-Wing does. We'll have a clock that counts up. So you will have a time, you will be able to see how much time has passed, but you will not know how much time we are going to. So we are still using the like roll the 5 dice. If we get paint, we're adding that much time on. But you at least kind of know how much time has passed. And so that should hopefully help state of play in general for everybody to kind of be like, cool, I kind of know how much time has gone by and how much could be left. And then we'll have the usual 15-minute runoff once time is called. So
I think a lot of our guys that went to Worlds, they ended up just running a timer on their phone as soon as they got to the table, just to kind of keep themselves. I think that's a great way to, just kind of keep yourself in check in your own game state,
Yeah.
I think they're putting the kibosh on that though.
Yeah, we have
doing your own timer. So
yeah, and I think because a couple people at Worlds were doing that, and they were kind of saying, like, well, I got to the table and I hit start, and then it was like time was called, and they were like, oh, I still got like 10 minutes. Like, what happened?
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's like it's hard. Like, if you want to do that yourself and kind of just gauge yourself on it, like that's totally fine. But we will have like an elevated timer that will show like how much time has elapsed.
I like that. I think that's a great way to help players out as best they can, because I know there's all types of players at these big events, and you just never know what you're going to get into. So,
yeah.
If you could have a Flavor Flav style digital clock that you also wore as you walked around,
my God.
that would be
Randy, that's such a good
that would be
idea.
Incredible.
Bro, you need to get a fifth counselor, and he's just the timekeeper.
He's just the time. He's just time guy.
The time.
Yeah.
Time
dude, that's so good. He just like turns around and is like, just shows you. He's like, this is what you got, Holmes. And like walks off. Like, oh, that's such a good
I don't know how you
idea.
argue with that.
Yeah,
it's right there on the chest, bro.
Yeah. That's such a good idea.
Man, that's great.
I'm gonna be looking for something now.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, last year was my first year to go. It was awesome. That was my first big event for Legion to go to, and I was stoked. So I'm excited to go again this year.
Nice.
Do we know if there's going to be streaming again this year for the event?
Yes. David has told us that he is good to go to stream. So he will be having the Yavin base show up, set up his awesome setup, and that'll be his first event getting back into it. So an
event to get back into.
Dude, yeah, I'm
excited. It wouldn't be LSO without Yavin base there. So
that's what I'm saying. So. Because he was kind of like talking. He's like, I'm not sure. And I was like, hey, man, whatever you need, like, you just let me know. And he gave us the green light, and we were like, let's go.
Nice.
So yeah, David will be there to stream for us. So we are super stoked about that.
And so you said you're at 60 players so far. So that's, what is that? That's 30 tables and everything. What kind of terrain are you getting help from community wise? Are you bringing your own? I know FLG is going to provide most of it. I mean, are you going to be looking for like denser tables this year? Are we going to have a mix, or how you doing that?
So we're still going with the Frontline Gaming's library that we have.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like Jordan and I want to say Ryan, a couple of those guys like fully went through a bunch of those boxes, because a lot of the terrain had kind of just gotten mixed and matched for tables that were a little sparser and whatnot. And so I want to say they've gone through and kind of rearranged all that stuff, so it's a little more together and with more stuff to help out. So I'm pretty sure those will look about the same as they have at the general inventory that you'll see. I'm interested, not this year, but like hopefully future events, I would like to do like a table competition. Like I know like Ryan does that for like his event. I think we did it at Worlds, not this year, but the year prior. Because I love to see what people make for tables. I love to see what people bring. And if people want to bring it or if they want to ship it, like by all means, like I think that's super cool. But yeah, in the future, I'd like to incorporate more of that hobby side of like what people can make to bring onto tables and have that kind of be a featured thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I've said it multiple times that this is the first community, mini wargaming community I've been a part of that like building your own table is just as important as having a fully painted army almost. Like it seems all the guys in our community have multiple tables and multiple armies, and I've just never seen that before. Like it's really cool to come to all these different tournaments around our local community, and they all have, I mean, Randy's got his Cloud City table. We got a guy with a couple indoor tables. We have Hoth tables. We have multiple cardboard tables of all kinds of stuff, you know.
Travis is the cardboard wizard. Yeah,
it's really cool to see all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, so in the future, it'd be really cool to see something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, and really, like any, like even cardboard tables, like that to me is like super genius to create that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm open to like anything. Hopefully, not this year, but hopefully next year we can incorporate some kind of like table competition for people to bring stuff and do like judging for that too.
Yeah,
you like a good like Texas themed table, like a Western, like
I want to do a like a Remember the Alamo kind of setup, you know, where
that'd be dope.
You got like a good like mission, you know, it's kind of like falling apart, and like some walls that are kind of like, you know, good barricade height, and you know, some rubble patches and stuff like that. Like I think that'd be pretty fun.
Most Alamo.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I could see it now. Well, great. Well, what's your favorite part of LSO, Zane, other than, you know, putting on a great event for people?
Honestly, that's it. Like getting to see everybody come down to this event, because I mean, when you look at the like kind of map of what events are going on, you got, I mean, the closest you get to is like Colorado is your next biggest event area, and then Tennessee, kind of out that way. So like those are kind of like your closer areas they have for like these, you know, big tournaments that are like 64 players or so. So for me, it's definitely like coming back home and, you know, traveling for a living. Anytime I come back to Texas, it's like I get Whataburger, I get barbecue, I get Tex-Mex, I get donuts. Like there's like things that I eat like while I'm home, because I'm like, this doesn't happen.
Heart,
yeah,
this food.
Dude, I probably like my veins just become like sweet tea like by the time I'm getting back on the flight, you know, like that's just the way it is. So yeah, definitely the food. You know, I got family there. My little brother lives in the area. My sister-in-law's there. A bunch of my like friends and stuff are there. So just coming back home and seeing everybody, and then like putting on this awesome event and like seeing everybody from the Legion community come in and play that. So
and it's being held at the same hotel and conference area as it been for the past multiple years, I think now. And I think
so.
The area and the hotel is amazing,
dude.
And the conference area is the conference hall. The event hall is great. I mean, to tell us about that a little bit and just how awesome they've been, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. So it's at that Waters Creek Convention Center. And like, honestly, like it's one of the best like convention centers I've been to. Like as far as like, a lot of times you run into an issue where like you get to the hotel and you're like, cool, like I'm in the hotel, like here's the hall, you know, you see all that, and then you're like, what do we do for food? And it's like, well, there's this one place right here, or we gotta like share a couple Ubers and go, you know, like it's kind of hard to like find something good. Like even, you know, LVO, like I love the Rio, but like you kind of have to like go venture out to like find food. And this place, you literally just walk out and you go across the street and you've got like Tex-Mex is right there. I know one of the places we're going to go to. So like, I think kind of what the social schedule sounds like is, I guess Friday night is going to be barbecue, either Heart 8 or what's the one that you guys were talking about? Rodeo Gate. So like, so that's probably going to be like, I guess Saturday night, I'm guessing. And then Sunday is going to be Bourbon and Biscuits. That's a place that's in that little place. Last year we just kind of were like, a couple of us were like, yeah, let's just go down there, you know, and there's like more people were like, "Oh, where you guys going?" We're like, "Oh, bourbon and biscuits." All right, cool. So we went down there, completely like crashed this place on a Sunday night. Like our waitress, she was so over. There was like probably like 15 of us out on the patio, like having a good time. Man. And like best thing about that was like so Tim Hannon is like a connoisseur of whiskey and stuff. Like he's verified or whatever. He's bona fide. And he was like, he was sipping some whiskeys, and Austin Miller had won the tournament, and he was like, having Austin like sipped a little bit, and then he handed him another one. It was like probably like a $30 glass of whiskey, and it's just got like one finger in it, and so Tim's like, "Oh yeah, here, try this one," and I'll never forget. Austin takes it and he just throws it back, and as he's like starting to like quick throw it back, Tim's like, "Wait, not all in one," and Austin's like, boom, down the hatch, gone. And it was just like, and Tim was just like speechless, just like midair, like, okay. And then Austin's like, "Oh, wasn't I supposed to do that? I'm sorry." And like we were all just like completely dead. And this waitress the waitress too was just like, "What are all of you people doing here tonight?" Like, so it was phenomenal food, phenomenal drinks. I know we'll go there Sunday. Barbecue that night on Saturday, and I guess like Tex-Mex tacos on another night. So lots of good food in the area.
We are up in Oklahoma, so it's a good like 2.5, 3 hour drive, depending on if Mitchem's driving or not. It's a little shorter.
I get there in 2.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a big contingent of our community goes, and so it ends up just being a really fun road trip for like the community and to hang out and all play together. So
yeah, I think this is the trip that we get the most guys to go to. I think we had almost 18 to 20 guys go last year, and
it's awesome.
It's the one that we always talk about every year. And I mean, we had a handful of guys go to Worlds and LVO, but like this one is like the big one for at least us in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
and everything. And so I mean, we're getting down. I mean, I'm taking off Friday. I'm going to try to get down there early to try to hang out on Friday night with some guys, and
that's awesome.
Hopefully have a good list and go at least X1. But even if I lose more, well, I'm not going to lose more than one game because I'm just going to tell people I went X1, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
in my head canon, I only went X1. So
yeah.
X1 is a ceiling for some and aspirational for others. It's okay,
X&O is just a game away, Randy. You keep saying it.
I know.
I just can't get there.
It's always right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, literally every time you start a tournament.
Yeah, I know one of the local shops, Reaper Miniatures shop out towards Denton is I'm emailing the owner of that shop, and he's going to get us some Legion prizes for the raffle and stuff. So
awesome, cool.
Yeah, so we'll have some stuff to give away.
I know FLG will have a booth set up. Are there going to be any other? I think last year there was a couple booths set up that you could buy.
Yeah,
dice and lasers. I thought I could be crazy, but
there's a small vendor hall that's right across from where like the main convention hall goes on. And I know there will be some vendors that will be there. I'm talking with Kicker. I think he's trying to expand. He's trying to like get more people to come down. It's just really hard because Gen Con like comes up like right afterwards. So a lot of major vendors send all their stuff there in preparation for that to happen, which I completely understand because I think it's like the next weekend or 2 weekends after. So it's like kind of crunch time for a lot of major vendors to like move to Texas and then go to Gen Con. So so he wants it to be bigger, but we do have that space where there will be some vendors there selling some stuff. So
good deal.
Oh, and if you went last year, remember your challenge coin for this year. This is your official reminder to not leave it at home.
I have mine in my token box that I've kept there all year, waiting for this moment. Because I didn't have mine last year and I was pissed.
If you've been to any Frontline Gaming event and you have challenge tokens, bring all of the challenge tokens you have, because they will.
There you go.
The more you have, I think there's like a prize bracket where it's like if you've got like 5 or under, you get like a shot glass, and if you get over that, like I think there's higher tier prizes for like how many you show up with. So I think I've got like 6 or something at this point. So
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I thought it was just Get your one and bring it back next time.
Yeah, no, I in the bag that I bring all my Legion stuff in, I literally have a pocket that's just dedicated. It's just all my challenge token. Like I just get one, I'm like, yep, right there in the pocket. So
Yep, man. I need to. So maybe someday I'll go to enough FLG events where I'll have my own pocket like Zane. Man, we're just all trying to live like Zane out here.
Oh man. Well, I thought we could kind of wrap it up with some wild predictions on what we think we'll see list wise, or who we think the winning list might be. So first one is, how many lists are going to bring Bad Batch, you guys think? It's one unit. There was 2 Ewok players last year, and that was a lot more models.
Ags.
But that was also a fielding a full army. This is one
so I
unit.
think there'll be much more.
So is the
much
better
more Bad
question,
Batch.
are we going to see more Bad Batch in clones or in Rebels?
Definitely clones.
Like over under. I feel like
I like betting.
I think there's going to be more clones for sure.
Okay.
Because I think more people like playing clones in general.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be in clones more. But I think like over under, man, I'm going to put it at, I'm going to say like 13.
Across clones and Rebels, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where I was going to go, about 13, 15.
I'm
I think there's going to be a lot of Rebels, just because I think some people are going to want to bring commandos.
That's fair. And with them rolling red dice, it kind of helps beef up your Rebels to give another punch.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, I think I'm taking the under on that one, but I like that number. I think that's pretty solid, but I think there'll probably be maybe 10, 11, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. I mean, coming out a couple days. I mean, now it's going to be the 19th, so 2 days before. And it is just one unit, 5 models.
Yeah.
So,
and literally, like, if you say you get them like morning, like your shop opens at 7 a.m. on the 19th, right? You get those, you assemble them, you prime them, you paint them, zenithal highlight white, you paint the guns black, you paint the rim, 3 colors. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, it can't be done.
There you go, Hunter.
Yeah, paint your Bad Batch, Hunter.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more Bad Batch than we did Ewoks last year. I think
Definitely.
What's really gonna be running is clones. I feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of commandos. I feel like people just want to play the new hotness, right? Like, I think range troopers are gonna be like, you're gonna see some Empire lists with some range troopers in it.
Definitely.
I think those are gonna be kind of the big things. And then I feel like some people are gonna be pulling. There's gonna be some Black Sun swoops showing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably be playing Shadow Collective. I don't think I'll be running that list, but I've been in the Discord for Shadow Collective. There's at least a couple.
Yeah.
How many droid lists are not going to be EXD?
None.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 2.
Well, I would say
that's a pretty weak lib.
Yeah, I would say 1, like maybe 1.
Yeah.
Because I want to say that vehicles usually have a pretty heavy spot in like the Texas local meta. Like I think every time, like in LSOs prior, like vehicles were pretty heavily featured. I think even last year, like vehicles were fairly
Bring
like
impact.
a third.
Okay, got my note.
A third of the field. So it'd be interesting to see like what people bring to kind of counter the clones being the new hotness right now. If someone's gonna kind of go that other direction and be like, I'm gonna go melee skew to like really kind of chop into that. So
yeah. I'm trying to think of any other skew lists out there. I mean, you got the new hotness, you got Bad Batch, I feel like Rebel players just get smaller and smaller every year as well. Poor Rebels.
Yeah.
And then
hey, they got a big release coming, so yes.
True.
I'm glad to be going to LSO, where I know I won't be the only Shadow Collective player at the tournament.
Are you guys doing best in faction as well? Prizes or
yeah, I believe Frontline does that.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll be keeping track of that as well.
Good deal.
And be giving out little pins that they have.
Yes, I got my pin last year. I was very proud of that one.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So we'll be doing that. There won't be. I know, like last year we had the cards that were like top 8 in faction. Like got like the Emperor card, and stuff like that. Like we won't have that this year because that was all from AMG stuff from the Worlds kit last year. So we won't have that. It'll just be participation stuff. So everybody will be getting something. We will have. I'm working on some military appreciation stuff since it is Frontline Gaming's military appreciation event. If you were military, I will have something special for everybody that's either active or veteran. So,
yeah, that's great.
Awesome. All
right, last prediction. What faction or force? Because I don't want to leave myself out. Is going to take it? Who's going to take it?
I have to go with clones for me. Like I feel like someone's gonna have that perfect combo with like a Bad Batch commandos, like Anakin, that just like does everything it wants you to do.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think it's going to be a list with Bad Batch. There's going to be someone out there that's playing them on TTS right now and just like, I'm going to get 100 games in with them and I'm going to Zenithal Prime them and I'm going to go, I'm going to beat up EXD and everything. So yeah, I'm going with something with Bad Batch. It could be clones or it could be rebels. I'm just saying Bad Batch.
There you go. Good call.
Hey,
Good call.
It could be me. You never know. Probably not, but it could be.
Just believe in yourself.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Oh man, yeah. I think I'm gonna say either Rebels or an EXD list. I think is probably going to take it, but I don't know what that says about me since I'm not going to be playing either of those. But
poor Empire.
I think Empire's going to be contenders. Like I think they're definitely going to give a run for it. I know a couple of my buddies are running some like pretty decent Empire lists. So
Boba range trooper stuff, throwing lots of dice there.
Yeah, and I played against one of those lists recently. It was pretty gnarly. So Boba is good.
Yeah, I got my butt kicked against the range trooper list too. There's a bunch of height 2 terrain on the table. And they just got right up there, and swoops cannot get on height 2 terrain. So that was rough, rough.
What a matchup!
Yeah. So learned something interesting about my list and myself that day. Yeah.
I searched inside. I found the real Randy that day.
Yeah. My daughter actually came with me to that tournament. She'd played Pokemon, and that was only for the first few hours, and so she was just hanging out. So like I was like really having to restrain myself. Got to be a good example.
Yeah, I was. I need to watch my mouth a little bit more. I was outside a good example, so
yeah, but that's okay.
That's all right. We're best friends.
She had a good time. Yep. She talked your ear off. Well, great, man. Zane, it's been awesome having you on. It was real fun chatting with you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is super cool.
Yeah. It's always great to chat with another Legion bro. So
yep.
Even if you do hail from the wrong side of the Red River.
Yeah.
That's
we'll forgive you. We'll forgive you.
It's all right. That's all right.
Was there
he
anything...
barely lives there now, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. So.
Yeah. He's a free agent.
Yeah, I thought about just calling myself the Nomad Legionnaire because I'm just like constantly everywhere. So
I like that. Yeah, that's good.
I like it. Is there anything else you want to plug before we head out, or just
that's pretty much all I got.
Come to LSO.
Yeah,
come play.
Show up. Like I said, if you
go
to buy a ticket and it's not there, just click it anyway because I think it sends them a link that lets them know people still want to go. So
cool. July 21st and 22nd. We'll see you there.
Yep.
20th and 21st, or 21st, 22nd.
20.
Oh crap!
20th, 21st.
20th and 21st.
It's the 20th.
Mitchem, July 20th and 21st.
I don't know what year it is. I don't know what day it is. It's fine.
If you show up the 22nd, you will be helping sweep up the conventional.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. So this is Randy Mitchem, Zane signing off. Remember, X and O is a game away.